Guys, today my sister is going to read a book named
The Garden
The Garden
by Arnold
Lobo. So she's going to start reading the book, and you want me to hold it?
Nope. So the book is called The Garden by Arnold Lobo. Frog was in his garden. Toad came walking by. "What a fine garden you have, Frog," he said. "Yes," said Frog, "it is very nice, but it was hard work." "I wish I had a garden," said Toad. "Here are some flower seeds. Plant them in the ground," said Frog, "and soon you have a garden." "How soon?" asked Toad. "Quite soon," said Frog.
Like you can see in the picture.
Yup, he's coming over. I'll turn him on. Toad ran home. He planted the flower seeds. "Now, seeds," said Toad, "start growing." Toad walked up and down. A few minutes. The seeds did not start to grow. Toad put his head close to the ground and said loudly, "Now, seeds, start growing." Toad looked at the ground again. The seeds did not start to grow. He's surprised they're not growing. He's getting mad. Toad put his head very close to the ground and shouted, "Now, seeds, start growing." Frog came running up the path. "What is all this noise?" he asked. "My seeds will not grow," said Toad. "You're shouting too much," said Frog. "These poor seeds are afraid to grow." "My seeds are afraid to grow?" asked Toad. "Of course," said Frog. "Leave them alone for a few days. Let the sun shine on them. Let the rain fall on them. Soon your seeds will start to grow." And he's telling them to leave them alone. That night, Toad looked out of his window. "Drat," said Toad. "My seeds have not started to grow. They must be afraid of the dark." Toad went out to his garden with some candles. I will read the seeds a story," said Toad. "Then they will not be afraid." Toad read a long story to his seeds. He has his book in his hands and he's reading it to the seeds, and you can see the candles over here. Plants. All the next day, Toad sang songs to his seeds. He's singing. And all the next day, Toad read poems to his seeds. He's reading poems from his book. And all the next day, Toad played music for his seeds. He's playing music now. Toad looked at the ground. The seeds still did not start to grow. "What should I do?" cried Toad. "These must be the most frightened seeds in the whole world." Then Toad felt very tired and he fell asleep. He was very tired, very grumpy. "Toad, wake up," said Frog. "Look at your garden." Toad looked at his garden. Little green plants were coming up out of the garden. "At last," shouted Toad, "my seeds have stopped being afraid to grow." "And now you will have a nice garden too," said Frog. "Yes," said Toad, "but you were right, Frog. It was very hard work." You could see that he was barely crying. The end. So this is the author of the book. So what we learned in this book was that you should be patient about things. Like Toad really wanted his seeds to start growing. He never had a garden before, like Frog did. But when he was patient, he did his best to get the seeds growing. But he really didn't know what the seeds wanted. He tried all his hard work, and finally, he didn't give up. He kept doing what he could. He should have asked Frog about the advices of his garden. And then, as you can see, he was patient. He fell asleep, and time was fine. So that was the story about the garden. It was very nice. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.
And
bye.
Peace out. Bow, bow, bow.